everyone, and welcome to this video. Now today I'm going to be talking about and sort of like reviewing a concert which I went to about 2 days ago now. I saw Squeeze live at the Royal Concert Hall in Glasgow. So yeah, what I'll do in this video is just talk like a bit about the show, like the set list and like that sort of thing. So firstly, here was my ticket for it. I had these booked like very like much again like advanced for like at least like a year. Like I've had like the tickets like for this. So like yeah, like it was something like which I was like quite like excited like about like going to see. Like I went like with like both like my mum like and like my dad because they are both like quite like big fans like of like Squeeze. So yeah, like I was like really like buzzing like for the gig. However, about a week before the concert, I'd heard a radio interview with Glenn and Chris, and like Glenn Tilbrook, like who is like the lead singer, like was very like had like issues like with like his voice like on like this like radio show. Like he like had a horrible cold, like he couldn't like sing like at all, and like this was like less than a week like before like the concert. So I was like getting like a bit like worried, thinking that they might cancel it, maybe like they might like postpone it, like all like the show like might just not be like as good like as like it probably like could have been like if like he was like if he was like able to sing properly. However, he must have recovered like incredibly quickly, because I tell you, like at like this concert, like there was absolutely like no evidence that he'd been like suffering like from like a sore throat or like anything like that. So yeah, like it was like a really like so like yeah, like it was like a really like remarkable like performance like from him. So the show was in like a kind of like medium-sized like venue, like just like a concert hall like sort of thing. Like it's a bit tricky like to sort of like estimate like how many people like would be like in there. Probably like about couple of thousand, about 2,000, like something like that. So like not like the biggest like place, but like quite like a good like intimate like venue. Like we were on the fifth row like from the front, like which is like very good. There was a merchandise stall like as usual like with like these concerts. Like there wasn't like a tour program, because I probably that would have bought that like whoever like they were selling like CDs like they had like the new album, but like this was like the one which like I like bought, which is a live 2017 recording, which this is actually like the concert like which like I saw, because like you had to pay for it before like the show. Like they gave you like a little card, and like after the concert, like about 15 minutes like after like the last song, like you got given like your CD like when like you handed like the card over. So like, this is like sort of like you get like the 2 discs here like off the concert, which I've heard about this. Like I think like I've heard like Bruce Springsteen does this, but like I've like never seen it like done before. Like a really cool thing. Like it also said like on like the card that like you could get like any merchandise like signed like by the band. However, like unfortunately that we like had like a train to get home, so like it was just a case of like getting this. Like we couldn't like wait around like for the guys like to come out like backstage, like, but like I'm sure like they would have done, because there is space here like for them to sign stuff. But like it doesn't like really matter though for me, because I have like already got like the signed set list what came like with like the album, which I showed again like the last final update. But anyway, I will now just include a little bit of footage like from the concert. Filming, like they did say like filming like wasn't like allowed, so I kind of like I wanted to get like a little bit, so like I made it look like I was just like zooming in, like taking like a photo like sort of thing, like because still photography like was allowed, like just like excessive like video like taping wasn't. So like I just got like sort of like 10 like 20-second clips like here and there like from the concert, which I will just include now. So they did have a support band for this concert, which is a group called 9 Below Zero, like who I like hadn't heard of, like until like I found out that like they were like supporting like Squeeze. Like they are like an older band, like sort of like contemporaries, like off Squeeze, like from like the late 70s and that, but certainly like not like as like well known. They're kind of sort of like bluesy and that, like they had like a brass section, like a female singer, like who that was very good, but like it's just like not like the type of thing like what like I would like usually like listen to. But now I'm just going to go over Squeeze's set list. They've done 23 songs in total, so like yeah, like quite a few. They were on stage for probably about 2 hours, like maybe just like under 2 hours. So yeah, like a really fantastic show. Started off with a new song actually called Please Be Upstanding. Quite brave to open like with like a brand new song. Like I think this one though, like it was slightly like it is like one of like my least favourites like from the new album personally. And like it was kind of like awkward because it was sort of like singing like Please Be Upstanding, but like no one like was standing up because they didn't like know like the song. Like it was like an unfamiliar like it was like an unfamiliar song. So yeah, like maybe not the best song like to open with, like, but like it was still like good to hear. Then went into Pulling Muscles from the Shell, like all-time classic, Patchouli, which is one of my favourites like from like the new record, like absolutely fantastic song. Then done Hourglass, again like a classic hit of theirs. Then two new ones, A&E and Rough Ride. Now Rough Ride like was very interesting because like on like the actual album version, they've got like sort of like choirs on it. They've got like a opera singer, and like for those bits, like those were kind of just like tape samples and that, like, but they had them like on like the screen, so like they used like the screens like and like the lights like quite well like for that song. They then done Annie Get Your Gun, one of like their older hits, and then a couple of newer ones like Innocence in Paradise, which was like the single from The Knowledge, like very good song there. Then did a couple songs from the previous album called Cradle to the Grave, like they done like the title song and also Nirvana, which I kind of like forgot about like how good like that song like actually was. Like it's a fantastic track, like quite like ELO like sort of like feel to it, like as well like I really like love that one, like Nirvana. Then done a couple more classic songs like Cool for Cats, like this is like one like Chris Difford's like said like it might be like a good like time to like stand up like and like dance about, like because because I got to like this point in time like everyone like had like been sitting down, but this one like was a good one to get up like and dance to. Followed that up with Another Nail in My Heart, fantastic stuff there, like Glenn Tilbrook's like guitar solo, just like absolutely fantastic stuff. Like, he's a incredibly like underrated guitarist. They then done a couple more newer ones. A song called Departure Lounge, which was a bit of like a come down like after Another Nail for My Heart. Because this is like a very sort of like slow, like acoustic, like bass song here. Like, but like it was still great to hear live, like nice like vocoder like on it as well. Then done song Albatross. Like, it's not like a Fleetwood Mac cover, but it does like reference like the like original song like at the end. So that's a great track, like about like vinyl collecting like and stuff. So yeah, like it has like great lyrics, at what I think. And like for these ones here, like the whole band like came to like the front like off like the stage, like which like really works. Like they done Take Me, I'm Yours as well, which was like great, which I was like great to hear. Like a more like acoustic like version, like with like a sort of like accordion and like on it, like a great sort of like live version like of that. Then done Tempted, which was originally sung by Paul Carrack, like whoever, like he's like no longer like with Squeeze, like so Glenn Tilbrook sings it, and like he does like a great job of singing it. And then the only song like of the concert which I didn't know was a song called Wicked and Cruel, which I believe is from one of their 90s records, like maybe from, like they had a record called Domino, it might be on that album. But this was a really rocking track, like absolutely great song. Like I'm surprised like I hadn't like heard of it before, because I thought that it was like really great track. And then coming like to the end, like off like the set, like they closed like with like more classic hits like Goodbye Girl, Up the Junction, which was again, fantastic track. And then they done Labelled with Love, and like for this one, like the guy from 9 Below Zero, like forget like his name, like the like harmonica player, like he came back on stage to like join Squeeze with this track. And then they closed the main set with the song Slap and Tickle, which was like again like very good song, like great light show like on that track. Their encore consisted of Is That Love, again fantastic track, like one of like my favourite set. And like their set closed with Black Coffee in Bed, again like another brilliant track. They kind of like jammed out like at like the end, like off that one, like introduced like all like the band members, and like yeah, like it was just a fantastic concert really. The only sort of like complaints like I would have like about the set, like not like complaints like really like I mean, but like I would have maybe like wished like if like they'd done like a few more like album tracks like from like the classic period, like say stuff like from like Argy Bargy, like or like East Side Story, like more sort of like album cuts, like rather than like just like the hits, like but like you can't like really like complain, like I mean like they have to play like the new stuff like because it's like new and that, and like also like their old like hits as well, like which is what like the people like wanted to hear. So overall, like I thought it was a great mix like of like new songs like and like older ones, like the new ones, like they didn't like overpower like the set, like it was a good like combination, like I thought, and like the band themselves, like they all like seemed like really to be having like an absolutely great time like performing live, like I mean like they were all like smiling, like all like really happy, like which was great, like which really like came across like in like their performance, and like definitely like rubbed off like on like the audience, like it just like made it like a really like enjoyable, like really fun concert. So I believe that like they're coming to the end like off like their tour, like at like the moment, like they have been touring like the UK like for like the last month, like this was like one of like the last concerts, like whoever, like I believe like they're going to Australia and like America like in like the next couple of like months, so yeah, like if like you can like go and see Squeeze, like I would definitely highly recommend it. So yeah, thank you for watching this video, and I will see you all next time for the next video. Goodbye.